I started like super studying it probably, I want to say like 2012. And then I just, because I already had knew the basics, and I started really, really getting into it 2012. And then I started reading people around 2000, like just for fun, like my friends, like birth chart and stuff, probably like 2014. And then I got some cards, some astrology cards from a friend, and they were like, "You need to start reading people." So that's how I read people. So then that opened up a whole nother gift that I also didn't even know I had as well. You get what I'm saying? So
Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean? What kind of what do these cards do?
so you know tarot cards, right?
Kinda.
So tarot cards.
That's like when people tell you, like you go to those little ladies in the little hole in the wall spots, and they like
something like that.
say you have these three cards and shit like that.
Yeah. So like for instance, so like there's tarot cards, and then there's what we call oracle cards. Oracle cards are just tarot cards on a concentrated topic. In mine, the topic is astrology. So I'll have a card like a Pisces card, a Taurus card, and I use those cards to read people intuitively. So like when I did readings for Lisa, I'll use those cards. So I was like, I can use people who, because everybody learn different, right? People who learn like touching stuff, seeing stuff. So I'm like, I'm gonna use these cards when I explain to people, because if I had cards right now, it would make it a little bit easier for you to understand. But I'm like, I'm gonna use these to explain to people like their birth charts and stuff like that. So my friend gifted me the cards, and then it just was just done from there.
So when you read people, you do it like in person over the phone. What do you need from them?
So it depends. So like I read certain different ways. So like for Lisa, I'll send I'll record a video. So all I'll need is just kind of like, you don't really need anything. So you could say like, some people be like, oh, I kind of want to just know about this area of my life. And I'll be like, okay, well, I'll meditate on it, and then I'll pull cards. So then it will talk about that, like that energy for that time in her life or whatever. And I always tell people too, those cards, let's say I got a deck of cards that's 72 cards. It's like, this is the deck of possibilities. I'm just pulling out the possibilities as of right now. If you don't like them, you like, your life is you can change your life. It's not you have free will to do anything. But just kind of, again, seeing shit from a different lens, because people think that like when you do that, oh, it's demonic or it's this and that. Energy can be like that. If it's pulling you all the time, yeah, it could be like demonic and draining and shit. So yeah, so that's what I started doing, and I've been doing that for hella long, since now. So I still do it. Like, I pretty much work for myself now.
Really? By doing these readings.
And even with her readings, it's digestible. Like when she did readings for me, like I had gotten readings before from other people, and it wasn't that I didn't understand it, but it just didn't speak to me.
Yeah.
As to when, and it, not even just because I know her, it's because she's done readings for other people that she didn't know that well. And it's just like her energy and everything, how she do it. Like, it's like, oh, my homegirl know hella shit, and she's, telling me about myself that I didn't see, or maybe I did see in
denial.
Yeah. Or I ignored it or whatever.
That's interesting. I might want to do that.
Yeah, I could do that for you.
But it's not going to creep me out, right?
No. No. So, it's hella funny when people say that. Again, that's something that's taboo.
Right.
Because they don't want you to, whoever the forces that be, you feel me, just to learn something new, to step out of what you, so it'll make you feel away. Now, like, when it comes to, like, that type of shit, at the end of the day, I'm going to keep it a buck. People do shit that's not cool. They do use these type of energies, and they do shit. That's not cool. And there's, everybody has their own beliefs, but energy is real. The veil is very thin. And so I would say, like, if you wanted to go get a reading, I'll be like, go feel that person out first. You get what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't just give you a reading off the back. I would let you feel me out first, because it's it's an energy exchange.
What do you mean though? Like, how do you vet somebody for something like this? You
chop it up, talk? So like some people ask me for a reading, and that energy to me, like, I feel it in my, like, I ain't reading you. Hell no. You know how like you just don't vibe with people?
Right.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Really?
No. And then like I try to, again, energy is so strong.
Yeah,
like when I do, like, my meditation, all that, I ask, because I'm still believing God and all that. I ask God and my ancestors and all of them, bring people around me who, or bring clients that are like, aligned with me, that are not going to drain me, that are not going to harm me, and me not harm them or anything like that. Even when I read, I'm like, whatever you don't want them to know, conceal it, you know, like, you know, things like that, just because, like, that shit is hella real. So if I'm not feeling your energy, I'm not finna read you. And I don't really even tell people, like, if I'm out and about, I don't tell people I read. I keep it on the low. Like, people ask me, are you still reading? That's what they ask me, because I don't be like, oh, I'm a reader, oh my god, I don't do that shit. Because then it's like all this different energy, and then people act weird with me, because they think I'm trying to read their mind. Like, yeah, I might pick up on some shit, but I don't want to know your business at the end of the day. I really don't give a fuck, you know. But if I'm helping you, that's what matters, you know. If you feeling a little bit better about yourself, and I'm a vessel to that, like a tool, hell yeah. But you ain't gonna get creeped out. You won't be creeped out.
So how would I like feel you out?
So like, we're having a conversation right now. Like, do you feel? What do you feel?
Confused.
Okay. So then, if you're confused, I would probably tell you, don't get it yet. Think about it, because you just met me. You get what I'm saying? So feel my energy out more, and maybe learn, like, look into like astrology and stuff a little bit more. Like, I would tell you to do that first, and then it's like, what would you even want to get a reading about?
I don't know.
Exactly. So I'm not one of those readers that's just gonna be like, oh, let me just read you. I'm gonna be like, okay, you don't even know yet, so just, you know, like, take time to figure out. I'm gonna always be here, you know, like, you can always reach out to me, kind of like what you want to know. Sometimes I'll even tell people we can have a random reading where we'll just pull messages, you know, like that. But it's just if you feel how you feel, you know. And people will be apprehensive just in general, because it's like, you know, it's
something new.
Yeah, you know. And then it's like something new that's taboo. So you know, but I try to make people feel comfortable. I try to make people feel like you cool, you know, like, I'm not finna be casting no spell on, you know. But for you will probably be confused because it's something new you don't know, you know. But as far as like energetically, if you feel cool enough to like open yourself up and share energy with me, then we could do that.
That makes sense.
And like, I was one of those people that I wouldn't say I was apprehensive, but I never paid attention to this type of stuff until my boyfriend died, because then it was like, I want to believe in something else. I want to find out something else. Like, you know, like I was going through such a transformational period in my life that I'm like, okay, there has to be forces outside of what I already know. You know, like, I believe in God, yes, but I also wanted to believe, like, there has to be other things going on in tandem with that, you know?
That makes sense.
And I feel like astrology helped me be closer to God. You feel me? So I think you just take it, because some people be like, oh, if you do that, then you don't trust God. And it's like, no, baby, the Lord is number one, okay? But for me, you know, but it's like, I use that as a tool to get closer. You know, even like with Earth and shit like that, like, I use it as a tool to get closer. So, but I don't read people. If you don't know, you don't do all that, I ain't doing that. Because then if your energy is all weird, we open it up, then you gonna make me weird. I ain't trying to be weird. I don't got time for that. So I'll be like, no, wait, I'll be here, let me know. And I try to shield myself when I meditate and I pray that I don't get that. And whenever my shield is weak, you know, I'll be like, I'm not reading right now. Like, right now, I'm not reading. It's too much going on. Like, I'm not reading as far as, like, my store is not open, you know. But, like, if, like, let's say if I have an encounter like this, yeah, I'll do it, you know. But I'm not reading where I'm just taking random clients. I'm not doing that right now.
So you have your own, like, store?
I have a website and everything.
Really? How often do, like, random people just come in?
No, so, like, I have an online store. So,
got you. Okay.
So, yeah, so people hit me up all day, all the time.
On social media and stuff?
All the time. And then, so, like, if I'm not reading right now, I'll still send them tools and stuff. I'll still send them stuff. Like, you know, like, look into this first. And sometimes, too, like, I'll feel people's energy to where it's like, you don't even need a reading. You just need to sit with yourself real quick. And I've done that a lot of times where it's like, you don't need no reading. This is what you need to do. You just need to sit with yourself and trust yourself. Because readings are just shit that you already know. It's like confirmation, but you just letting the world make it loud so you can't hear what's really going on the inside, you know? That's really what it is.
I never knew it was so much to this, man.
Yeah, that shit hella deep. That's why I be telling people, like, man, you know, don't knock it till you try it, you know? Don't knock it till you get to, that's why I said, like, you're like, oh, do you not date certain people? I don't knock nothing till I try everything at least 3 times just to make sure. But, like, be open to stuff, because you never know how it could change, or you know, because I never used to be spiritual as a kid. Like, my father was hella Catholic, my mom used to like be a Buddhist and stuff.
Really?
And I didn't believe in none of that stuff, because I go to Catholic school and I'm just like, okay, well, if it's Adam and Eve, then how do, you know, like, you know, no shade to nobody's like beliefs or anything, but I'm like, how the fuck we get here? And I can't ask no questions, and I ask questions. Everybody know I ask questions, so I'm like, I don't fuck with that. I don't believe. And then, you know, things happen in your life where you don't believe that, like, you know, spirit and stuff is real.
It's easy to question faith. Though.
Yeah. So that's how I was for hella long. Like, nah. Like, I just seen somebody I used to date. He was like, you know, the reason why I didn't want to date you is because you was like, you didn't believe in God. Like, so I never took you serious. He was like, and now I see you so, like, you know, deep and spiritual and all that. And I don't come off like that either. People don't know until they really get to know me, like, how spiritual I am, you know? Because I still be with the shit, you know, whatever. But, like, yeah, it's just hella deep, and it's all intertwined, all of it. So if you talking astrology, you got to know a little bit about tarot. You got a little bit to know about numerology, like numbers like 1111 and all that stuff. Because all that shit all vibrates together. Like, it all vibrates. Even colors.
Really?
Like color therapy, like all that, like colors for you would be like purples, like lavender type of stuff, like even the scent of lavender. So like you, like certain people.
Me specifically, or you just
Pisces?
Oh wow.
So like sleeping in maybe lavender, like your lavender sheets will help you. You
really?
know, wearing yeah, it's like that shit is crazy.
Go ahead, you can ask your question first, Lisa. I feel like I'm talking a lot.
I don't be seeing no numbers. I don't be seeing the 1111, 444, 333, like.
So it's not just like, you don't have to see 1111, all that shit. You know, like, you get, like, my number is 229. Like, I have a tattoo of it and everything.
Really?
So, So, like, it's also, too, certain stuff resonates with certain people. It may not resonate with you. Numbers, other things may resonate with you, like animals or, like, you know, different things like that, you know, but, like, it's nothing wrong if you don't see that. Maybe you may see it later. You might have seen it before and not even trip, like, oh, I would see 1111 and stuff like that all the time, you know, but it's like, those angel numbers they call those angel numbers. So, like, numbers that you see repetitively, the universe is using numbers to, like, give you a message and be like, and then you'll look up the vibration of those numbers and then be like, okay, it makes sense. So I would see, like, 229 all the time. I'm like, why the fuck I keep seeing this 229? Like, that's hella weird. That's a random ass number, you know? Then I looked it up and I was like, oh shit. Okay, and now I see it all the time. Like, or now actually I don't see it all the time. I'll randomly see it. And now I'll just be like, I'll say like a quick little prayer, or just be like, thank you. Like, you know, I'll see stuff.
What does it mean?
So, like, 2, the vibration of 2 is like harmony, coming together, trusting your intuition. So intuition is just you using yourself and trusting whatever higher power or source that you have. And then 9 is the number of, you know, like endings and beginnings, right? So numerology goes from 1 to 9, right? So it's pretty much telling me that, like, I need to continue to keep doing what I'm doing, like doing like light work, and then I'll always have these endings, but there will be new beginnings, right? So it'll just be a reminder of that. So then I'll just be like thankful, like, thank you for my reminder, you know, like that.
What does it mean to be a light worker? Somebody told me I was a light worker, but I didn't. I'm like, okay, like, I kind of looked it up and I just didn't.
So for me, like, light work is like, you use your light, right? So, like, let's say my light is talking, right? And I use my gift of talking to bring light to other people. Like, I'm bringing you guys the light of, like, you know, astrology and all that. So, like, you could be a light worker by a teacher, like, all the, like, even you're, you know, light worker by using your gift of all this. I don't know how to do none of this shit, you know, like, you know, so then I can share, you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like that. So I feel like people try to say, like, oh, people are special, all that. We all like that. Now, if you tapped in, that's something different, you know, and it's like, for you, like, being teachers, nurses, random people, like, to be honest, I think a crackhead a light worker sometimes, because they'll have a message. They'll come to you and have a message for you. You'll be like, damn, oh, shit. Like, okay, you know, so it's just like, and that's another thing with, like, when it comes to, like, astrology, spirituality, and all that, you really make it for you because it's yours. So whatever you look it up, but whatever you feel that is, then that's what it is for you. But that's just my definition of just light working. Anybody that's using a light and working it, pretty much.
So back to this color thing. How do you know your color and all that stuff?
So get into like your astrology. So certain colors, certain signs govern certain colors.
Okay.
So do you know about chakras? So chakras are like energy points in your body, right? So then it goes from red to like a lavender, right? And those lavender colors it represents like, it goes from like your instinctual self, like your animal instincts, to your spiritual instincts. Okay. And again, we going from Aries, who is red, rules red, because they're their first sign. Think of a baby, their animal instinct is to cry and all that type of stuff because they don't know. Then we have Pisces, who is the person who's passed on. So they have intuitive powers and all of that outside of the realm of human life. So like, let's say for instance, so that's why like your chakras are up here, like purples. You would be like Aquarius. So the older the sign is that makes sense. So that's how you can find out. Like you can literally Google what colors go with Pisces, and you'll see like whites, because Pisces are two fish, right? Mm-hmm. One fish is in the spirit world, and one fish is in the physical realm. They're always swimming into each other to the point where sometimes you don't know what's what. So sometimes you may be thinking stuff that's not really real, if that makes sense. Like Pisces have to...
You calling me delusional?
Pisces can be delusional, yes. Because they're living in two fucking worlds. And it may be delusional to me, but it's not delusional to you because that's your world. You're walking in two realms all the time. So you're picking up on shit that everybody don't pick up on. So you might see something and I'd be like, what the fuck wrong with you? I don't see that, but you see that. But me knowing you're a Pisces, right. I'll listen and be like, okay, you picking up on some shit. You know, water signs
pick up. That's interesting.
Yeah, water signs pick up on that, especially Pisces though. That's why Pisces need to be by themselves. Pisces are sponges. People will be like, oh, Justin, can you do this for me? Can you do this for me? And then in your birth chart, you have strong placement. So people feel safe with you. They feel like you're dependable. So they'll try to do that, but not realizing that you're a Pisces and you need to have time to yourself and wring everybody else's energy out.
That's interesting. And I say that because I was having a conversation with my mentor, and I was explaining that, you know what I mean? Because I live alone. I spend a lot of time by myself. You know what I mean? I don't like people. Mm-hmm. I feel like the more I'm around people, the more I'm putting my peace in jeopardy, if that makes sense.
That makes absolute sense.
And then he was telling me, he's like, you're just naturally a problem solver. So no matter what, like even when I was working for Wells Fargo, it's like I found myself trying to help the company Wells Fargo. You know what I mean? Just you know, we were going through the whole rebrand thing when they were doing the credit cards and people's names and all that shit. I didn't work for them then, but after the fact, it was just, I was telling them like, hey, I feel like this would be smart if Wells Fargo went and did like a home ownership workshop in the inner city. Yeah. Feel me? That'll help build the relationship with black trust. People. Mm-hmm. And then to be honest, before I even start working at the bank, a lot of us African American people, we don't even understand the banking world at all. Mm-hmm. Right. And I was like, this could be your in to a whole dynamic. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? But that's crazy because he's like, you have to be careful because you get overly consumed with everybody else's problems to the point to where you lose yourself. And I feel like that. And then people get mad at me because it's like, oh, he doesn't answer his phone. And I'll randomly have like 2 or 3 days where I just don't want to be bothered by anybody. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that's interesting that you say that. So you like being a Pisces. So Pisces is what they call like the martyrs, right? Mm-hmm. So Pisces are they will sacrifice themselves for the greater good. So like you even using like Wells Fargo, you know, like you saw the vision and you were willing to sacrifice your energy and all that to put the vision in motion. And Pisces do that. And I like to call them I call Pisces SpongeBobs because they're sponges. You soak up everything. And that's why you have to be by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you need to wring out everybody's energy because not only are you a problem solver, but you're
you're a natural empath, so you're picking up. You already know what people need and all of that. And then on top of that, you have this moon in Capricorn. So Capricorn is like emotionally, people feel like safe with you, so they want to tell you everything. They want all of that.
That's true too. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah,
because it's my podcast is like the one I do with the interviews. It's pretty much based around mental health, and I talk about it so much, and I'm pretty vulnerable on there too. I open up. But it's like I have people who I never even met before, and they DM me. Like, I've had people straight up say, "Can you be my therapist?" And of course, I'm not a therapist.
Yeah.
But so for you to say that, it makes complete sense.
Yes.
Because like I said, there's people who I don't even know, and they'll DM me like they're all their business. And I was even telling her I was going to do a separate show to where it's like I can just, because it is therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I get affirmation and confirmation from having conversations. That's what made me want to do a podcast, because I would watch other interviews or I would watch podcasts, and it would be shit that I would feel, but I wouldn't speak on it because I felt like when I spoke on it, people looked at me weird. You know what I mean? And it's like me being an empath, I feel like I understand the world, but nobody understands me.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So that's interesting.
Yeah, because like normally with empaths is like you see the needs of other people, and those people see that you have the solution to their need, so they'll see that. And as a Pisces, I tell all Pisces the way that, because Pisces love to take care of people. Pisces are earth angels, all of them, even if they toxic. So Pisces is from the planet of Neptune.
Okay.
Neptune rules over addiction. It rules over how, like, idolizing people. So people idolize you, right? Sometimes you may idolize other people or things. It rules over illusion. Sometimes, again, those two fish swimming into each other, you may not necessarily see shit for what it is. People might not see you for who you are. So it's important for Pisces. I always tell them the best way to take care of other people is to take care of yourself. That's the best way. And then your rising sign is Virgo. So there's what we call an axis in astrology. So like the North Pole and the South Pole, that's an axis, right?
Okay.
So your opposite sign is a Virgo. So Virgos are just as much as givers and all that as Pisces, but they're earth signs, so they're not absorbing everything, but they're going crazy because they're trying to help everybody do shit. And you have that. So that's how you come across. So that's like your mask, right? So you come across like this Virgo Virgos are fixers. You got a problem, I'm finna fix it. Sometimes they'll even find a problem to fix it. You know what I'm saying? So you have that. I have that. My moon and my rising is Virgo. So I have to be conscious of me, like, always going over and above for people. That's why, like, I'll stop doing readings sometimes. Like, I can't be taking up on y'all shit, because even though I'm not crying or showing that I'm an empath, I still am absorbing the same way, you know? So it's important that, like, you take care of yourself, you take care of your mental, because being a Pisces, like, living in two worlds, you can go crazy. Yeah. Pisces get addicted to things, or you can get addicted to people. A lot of Pisces are drunks, or like they have these addictive behaviors because they're trying to escape from everyday life. But the way that, because people are always pulling and draining them, but the way that Pisces should escape is having a creative outlet and being by themselves. Be by your fucking self. Sometimes go out into the world, but know, like, okay, my battery low, I need to go home.
I even travel by myself.
Yeah, I do. I just started doing that. That shit is clutch. I'm fucked up. I can't travel with no. I'm like, I want to invite people now. I'm like, damn, it's bad. I'm gonna go by myself. And if I go with people, I got my own room. I got my own car. So I'm just fucking with y'all. But when I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go. Right. You know. So, but that works for you. And if people don't understand that, then you need to still continue to be you and do it. Because I'm learning that people don't understand this newfound person that I am. Right. But then there's a bunch of people, like you said, that are watching, that are like, damn, I want to do that. Right. So you're leading by example, again, by taking care of yourself, you know? So, like, just continue to really do that.
So therapy is what kind of got me into that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then I started to realize, like, I'm losing myself. And I was scared I was about to go crazy. Mm-hmm. I told her that, like, I had a dark space. Mm-hmm. And then in going to therapy, it was like this trauma that I'm suppressing is like just going further and further back, like to when I was a little kid.
That's what.
You see what I'm saying? And it's scary because it's like I have to protect my peace. Like I got 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And in order for me to be the best, like you said, in order for me to be the best father, the best friend, the best cousin, whatever it is, best son, my mom, my parents, it's like I have to be the best. I have to be happy within.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, and now it's almost like it's hella pressure because a lot of people don't get it, and they think like, oh, Justin acting funny or he's in one of his moods, and it's like, no, bro, I'm trying not to go fucking insane.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like I have to, like when I go to, sometimes I drive up to Reno, stay in a room, and I just leave my phone upstairs, and I'll just go walk around the resort or whatever.
I do that shit all the time.
You know what I mean? Or sometimes I got stairs in my apartment. Same thing. Like I'll leave my phone upstairs, and like my parents will be calling me. Like I ain't heard from me. It's like I don't feel like fucking talking.
Yeah.
It's nothing personal. It's not. I'm not mad at anybody.
Yeah.
I just don't want to. I don't want to talk to nobody.
Yeah.
And like you say, they are constantly confiding in me with everything, and it's just like that shit gets draining.
Yeah, it's draining as fuck. So you have to learn how to have, as a water sign, you have to learn how to have boundaries. Because think about water. If I just spill a cup of water, it's gonna go everywhere. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So learning to like kind of like be your own cup in a sense. And one thing I can say is just like we have to be mindful of other people too. And I've learned like, because I have a lot of like Cancer friends and Scorpio friends. I have a lot of Pisces friends too, and I tell them, you know, water signs aren't necessarily direct, right? So we're also, people love you, so you know they care about you, and sometimes people aren't aware of the things that they do, but you're aware. So some, you know, you gotta be that bigger person, but just say like, you know, I not before, but after, like, you know, I'm in a space where sometimes I don't want to talk. And, like, just let them know, like, I'm cool. I don't want to talk. Because people are like that with me. And I'm like, it's nothing wrong with me. I'm not in a weird space. I just don't want to talk.
It even goes back, my bad, Lisa. It even goes back to, like, the old grouch thing that I said earlier. Like, so I was in Vegas, right? And this is just an example. And it kind of made me think of it. Like, I was with my little partner. And then, like, he had met these 2 girls, right? And I'm the type of person, I'm a black man. I'm pretty, I'm kind of big. You see what I'm saying? So I always lived my life feeling like I stood out anyway. So I did everything in my power to not stand out more. Like when I was in college, if I was late to class, I wouldn't go. Because I didn't like walking through and everybody. That's why I'm real punctual with time and being on time and everything, because I hate that extra. Like, you know what I mean? Like me working in the bank, I wear a suit every day. So it's like I've lived my whole life, and I'm pretty articulate. You know what I mean? So I've lived my whole life watching people judge me, like physically. Like I can see if a white man is approaching me, and it's like I can see their demeanor change, and when they hear me speak, because they see my beard, they see how big I am, and it's like they think the typical, you know, dude, I'm from Oakland and all that. But it's like, so the girls were being hella loud, right? And I'm just like, bro, like, why are y'all so fucking loud? And mind you, we're at the crap table, and like they're drunk and shit. And I get it, you know, you're having fun. They're probably a little bit younger than me, but one of the girls is like, damn, you're hella mean. And I was like, I don't get called mean often. Like people do say, no, I do get called mean.
Yeah, I was finna say.
Yeah, but it's not a mean. I don't feel like I'm being mean. It's just I don't know how to explain it. But when she said that to me, I'm just thinking in my head, and it's like, you know, people make the joke, call me grandpa and all that, but it's like, how do you feel like? How can I still stay in control but still be that vessel for people?
What do you mean as far as like that situation?
No, just in general. That was just an example, because when she said that to me, I was like, damn, am I really that bad? You know what I mean? I'm just thinking like, okay, I know sometimes I am in a shitty mood, but it's never because of what you're doing. I just don't like hella attention. I don't like looking ghetto. You know what I mean? So when it comes to me being there for like my parents and my siblings and people that are close to me who do confide in me and depend on me, when it comes to that aspect, like I said, especially with the mental health thing, because since I've been to therapy, it's like everybody wants to just pour into me, and like you say, when that cup gets overflown and it starts to spill over, it's like, then who's gonna be there for me?
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
Right.
So how would you say to be able to do both?
So, like, for me, I think just, again, communication is a big thing. And I think just communicating that, like, you don't have to go into detail, but just, you know, like, when you're starting to feel like you can't, like, let's say, for instance, like, I'm going through my own, like, type of stuff, right? And I had, like, a friend that wanted to, like, vent and all that type of stuff. And I was just like, like, hey, I'm here to listen, but I'm also feeling a way about some things too. So, if I'm not present as I thought, I'm letting you know, like, I'm giving you a disclaimer. So also working up on that. So then people start being mindful, like, before they just start pouring in, how you doing?
Right.
Like, one of my friends, she don't never ask me how I'm doing. And as of lately, I'd be like, I'm feeling a way about stuff. And just recently, she was spazzing about something, but she didn't spaz first. She was like, hey, first she was about to, and then she was like, hey, how are you?
Right.
And I was like, I'm cool, and she felt my energy, and then she was like, you know what? Then I hit her like, hey, what's up? Like, you hit me, and she was just like, I didn't really need to pour into you, because I asked you how you were
That's
doing.
That's a good friend.
Like, because, and it's like, I feel like when you don't create that boundary, then you enable people. And that's one thing with water signs they don't understand, and they feel that people are just always draining them of their, divine energy, divine water, is because they don't have that boundary and understanding that when you don't tell people no and stop and directly, you're enabling them because you're not allowing them to stop and be like, actually, let me ask you how you doing. So that's what I would do, is just start to communicate, like, I'm not feeling in the space, even if you have to keep doing it, but communication that's how people are going to know, because people they're not going to know. Yeah. They're not going to know. And even if they know you, like, you'll be like, damn, people know me, I'm a good person. I be feeling like that all the time, like, damn, y'all know me. But I talk to people like they don't know me. I tell my mom stuff. She gave birth to me. I talk to her as if she doesn't know me. So then she's like, okay. So then we have that clear communication. So if I'm coming in and I'm feeling a way, they'll be like, they'll already know. Like, I'm going to leave her alone when you ready, like, ready to talk,
So what happens when you try to create those boundaries and people just don't care? Because I feel like, I don't know why, but I'm the friend that...
Girl, it's the Taurus.
That people call. And I'm like, well, shit.
Taurus, Pisces are those friends, right? Because Taurus is very much so similar to Pisces. And, like, our planet does the best when it's in Pisces, right? And then, like, in Cancer. So they are the people who everybody comes to, right? And for me, it's a level of selfishness. I feel like you have to have a balance of everything. There is no such thing as, like, you can't be selfish at all. No. You have to have a level of selfishness. So you need to tell people, like, no, I can't be there for you. Like, I mean, granted, find your way of doing it, but say no. And if they don't feel it, they don't respect you. That's how I feel. Yeah. I'm so big on boundaries to the point where now people don't fuck with me. Like, they don't fuck with me because they know that, like, I'm not feeling that. I'm risk my mental health or my good space that I'm in to be. And then because the thing is, can you do for them?
Right. That's the thing. It's like, if I'm in need, it's like, I can't.
Exactly.
And I'm not going to, because I'm a Taurus also. So it's like, I'm going into myself. But it's to the point where, like, I have to pretend like I'm taking a nap. Because for some reason, that's the only time people do not give a fuck about bothering me.
But you don't have to pretend that anymore. I think you just need to be okay with, like, being just saying no. Because then, like, also saying no has a lot to do with, like, what's going on with you as well on the inside, like, do you feel like if you say no, people not gonna fuck with you, they're not gonna,
I don't even think it's a not gonna fuck with me type thing. I think it's more so, like you say, communication is the key, but communication is a two-way street. So I can have a clear-cut message about how they perceive it and receive it. That's where the issues lie.
But that's not. But
and I'm just about to say no. Period. I don't know why.
But you have to learn. It's a balance. You have to have the balance of no and yes.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know how to say no, then you're not also receiving things that you should be receiving too. Like, if you're not telling these people no, then you're not receiving people that should be listening to you too. You get what I'm saying? So you have to say no. And as a Taurus, we bottle stuff in. Taurus is like, like a bull. We're a bull, right? Like the what's the shit? The rodeo, right? The Taurus is fine doing their own thing, whatever. Taurus is a fucking cow. We heifers, right? We just eat. We don't give a fuck. Then somebody bother you, then you act crazy. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So sometimes with your feelings, it's like, I'm not gonna say how I feel, and then I spaz out, and then everybody like, damn, Lisa, what the fuck? What's wrong with you? I've been trying to tell you, you motherfuckers, but you have to, like, just, like, learn to just speak on it. Just be like, you know what? I'm not feeling it. I'll hit you when I'm ready. If they get mad, that's on them. You can't how people perceive stuff, you can't control that. How people
Yeah.
digest stuff, you can't control that. And if people, I honestly feel like people really fuck with it themselves, they fuck with you, then they'll understand. They'll be like, you know what, she's not feeling it, you know, or they may even be like, well, what's wrong? You get what I'm saying? So just like being okay with just Taurus is you need to speak up and be like no. You need to be able to say no, because I have an issue with being like I'm cool, I'm good, and inside I'm like, oh my god, like I'm gonna kill myself.
In shambles. And like you said, like I rarely get a how you doing. It's always what you doing or something like that. But it's just what you doing, because I'm trying to see if I can take up 2 hours of your time while I vent to you. You know what I'm saying? It ain't
and it's
really
like y'all both have the same moon sign is in Capricorn. So Capricorn is like everybody has their role, right? And Capricorn is the dad, right? So it's the parental figure. People feel emotionally safe with you, so people are going to do that. But then think about like who's going to take care of mom and dad. You know, how do you guys vent? So, you know, sometimes your mom and dad would be like, I can't talk to you right now.
Yeah.
So that's how you got to do. You know, like, not to boost y'all up like that, but like everybody y'all sons in a sense. And y'all have to be like, no son, no daughter, I'm not going to talk to you right now. Because that's how people are coming to you. That's having those placements. That's what that is. People are going to do that.
But then at what point do you almost feel an obligation to be that? Like that's where my biggest thing is. It's like the moment I change something about myself, everybody think I'm acting funny.
Obligation is to yourself first.
Right.
So people have to understand, this is another thing with people in general, and like I've learned just like learning astrology and like, you know, it's like psychology and sociology in a sense. People get attached to certain things, and when you change, people don't like change. But we're humans. We change, we evolve all the time. You get what I'm saying? And people have to understand that. And people are going to feel away regardless. They're going to feel away. So
can't make everybody happy.
Yeah, you can't. They're going to feel away. So as long as you know in your heart that you're not being selfish, you know your real intentions, that's all that matters. You get what I'm saying? Like that's how I take it. Now, you know, learning your chart, maybe the way you may communicate things may, like, learning yourself, like, okay, like for me, I have Mercury in Gemini, so I'll, like, how I communicate is like a Gemini, so I know I can speak very well. So let me use my gift of speaking and be like, hey, I don't feel good right now, I'll talk to you later, you know, things like that. So, like, let's say for you, your Mercury is in Pisces. So sometimes you speak, but sometimes you don't have the words to say.
Right.
So sometimes you need to say, I don't have the words to say right now. Like, can I reach out to you later? You know, and you have Gemini too. Your Mercury's in Gemini too. So being able to speak, like you're a speaker, you're a teacher. So you'll have to teach people like, hey, this is a time that I can't, you know, deal with it right now. Yeah. You know, just being like, and not feeling like you're gonna feel bad, but it's like at the end of the day, you'll love yourself more, and people will respect it. You know, after a while. They gonna feel away, but it's like, you know.
I think too, like even what you said about people not being able to accept change, because I feel like before I really knew who I was, I knew a lot of people. Like, so I was social by default because I knew all these people. But now, as an adult, I know like I don't really too much like people like that. Like I know y'all, but I don't really. I'm antisocial. I just know a lot of people, but I think that's hard. Like he said, like, you know, like, I can't be my real self without somebody thinking I'm acting away when really I'm just low-key an introvert, and I knew y'all before I knew that.
But it's like, how could people really get to know your real self if you don't be that? Because I'm the same way. Like, if you think about it, when do you see me outside?
Right.
But everybody know me for whatever reason. I don't be outside like that. Or when I do, I be in different spaces.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So, but like, you have to just be yourself so that people can know who you are and act accordingly. Because if you're not being yourself, they can't act accordingly. You get what I'm saying? But it's hard, though, because I feel like that, too. Like, I don't even know how hella people know me. Honestly and truly, this astrology stuff, yeah. But before that, I don't know. You know, like you said, social by default. Like, people be like, everybody know you. It's like, I don't know that. I don't know how. And I like to be, like, to myself, like, you know. It's like I could be social sometimes, like, you know, all that, but I have to
selectively, you know, like when I want to, and where I want to.
Yeah, you know,
really when you feel like it.
Yeah, really. So it's just like just allowing yourself to just be that way, and also allow other people to be like that way too, because people want you to be a certain way, but then like people want to be a certain way, but they won't allow others to do that too. Like if I want to be free, I have to allow you to be free too. You get what I'm saying? Like if I want, like it's like being with somebody. Like if you want to talk to hella people, like I'm gonna talk to hella people too. Like or you have to be open to the idea that I'm gonna do that. You get what I'm saying?